We probably didn't expect them to be in the lower bracket this early on. For those who missed it, Direwolves ended up taking them down in that best of one. And for MH, I guess you could say, guys, they're hunting for a win.
Did you say they could be hunting for a win because they have hunters in their name?
Yeah. I saw, I kind of stole that one from Twitch chat.
Wow.
I'll admit it.
Maybe Twitch chat should start casting.
Honestly, they should.
Yeah, I mean, we all kind of don't like each other anyway, so.
Nomad taken off the board. No real surprise with that one, especially on Chalet. A lot of roaming, a lot of flanking. Thatcher as well, pretty standard ban so far.
Yeah, with Nomad taken off the board, that's going to open up the map quite a bit, even more so for the defense. Of course, Chalet, basement, rotations, all kind of go in the same bundle. So with Nomad off the board, it's only going to exaggerate that effect even more. In terms of defensive bans, more than likely we'll see a projectile operator taken down. It'll be the Wamai in this instance. To follow up on that, we might see the Valk taken out. I mean, you've got a lot of options here on Chalet, quite an open map in that regard. Kaito Mirror, maybe? See? Yeah, Mirror. Of course, that operator very potent in the likes of backstore, for example, difficult to clear out. Upstairs as well, the holding library, etc. can be very powerful, but yeah, nothing's really standing out here. I'd say Nomad is a little bit eccentric, and that's just something we'll have to keep our eyes on, particularly on that roam.
Yeah, I'd agree. Even then, it's still a pretty normal ban in itself, really. So yeah, nothing crazy here. As we head into what is our first map of this best of three, I need to preface that, of course, this is a best of three, which so far is going pretty well for the other South Asian team, as we had that update beautifully done on the broadcast earlier. Mercenaries and Cyclops currently doing battle as well. Mercenaries up 1-0 in said best of three. Good start for them. As we head into this one, though, it is going to be Master Bedroom and Office, our first site of choice here on the second floor of Chalet.
And Valkyrie will already be selected here. I theorize that maybe it could be taken out in the ban phase, but does survive. One of the most banned defensive operators currently, not only in ranked, but competitive Siege as well. She's just so versatile, able to gain so much information, and I have no doubt DAMWON Kia are going to be a team to play off that information directly, collect it, act upon it, and play a really strong game of Siege. And I know you mentioned it earlier, but I just want to pick it up again. It is somewhat surprising to see DAMWON Kia in this position. Keep in mind, they were the one team for me that really stood out in the Stage 2 APL playoffs. And I was like, wow, these guys are playing so impressively. They'll probably do okay at the major. They did actually go on to do pretty well, and that's why my hair looks so terrible at the moment, because I made a bet that I'll shave it if they make it out of groups. Yada, yada, yada. That was quite a regretful decision, but they were looking so good. And heading into Stage 3, they've just quietened down a little bit, finding a rhythm difficult to obtain, and have been jumped by a couple of other teams. So this is their opportunity, I guess, now to try and bounce back. And just like last time, best of threes seem to be where they're quite comfortable. So this will be the real test for them.
And for the side of MH, they get back the Rattler, one of my favorite names to pronounce. Go all the way back to Stage 1 of the APAC playoffs, where we last saw Rattler. That was definitely to the moon from Ragnar. Was that a... I'm going to say, was that a bay or was that just a whiff?
It had to have been a whiff. I don't see any reason. Maybe he needs a bungee for his cord. Maybe his cord...
It's like the mouse just slipped out of his hand.
Maybe he's got sweaty palms. Is that the level of analysis we can run with there? That MH are just under immense amounts of pressure here?
Well, it's either that or it's the biggest brain play that we simple to understand it. So far, pretty normal looking solar take here from MH. Handled, of course, by DAMWON Kia. I think they've got a player on Trophy Stairs. They've got also Yas roaming down below as well. Pretty stock standard so far for the most part, guys. Although, that in itself from Rattler. Wildcard, by the way, to APAC playoffs for himself. Gets the opening kill onto Coated. And that's a perfect start here for MH to eventually get into Solar.
His first round of the day and gets the opening kill, so a good way to kick things off, and that should allow MH to get some control inside of Solar quite quickly. Sandy still on the common rappel, holding this bathroom cross. Sees one, can call that out to the rest of his team. That's Bryn trying to reclaim that forfeited position. It doesn't look like MH have been able to rappel in just yet, so they have been stalled. Bryn, though, falls back, and that will open up that side of the map.
Still 1 minute and 7 seconds remaining as well for this round, so lots of time. And of course, now for Jittery, talk about already making an entrance Headshot elimination onto Katsang now makes it a 2-man advantage as well. Swing from Rin, it was needed. Pushing into Solarium from Bathroom, goes for a little bit more, but Ragnar is, well, primed and ready off the back of a pretty good match earlier on this afternoon. Still holding that now 2-man advantage for MH, starting strong here on Chalet.
Cross is being covered here. This is a round for the attack to lose. Boogeyman will need to go quite large, but he's isolated by that cross, swung wide by Ragnar, who pushes deep, and now Yas needs to try and retake over towards Library Hall. Does find one pick, 20 seconds left, and the diffuser yet to be stuck. Good swing wide, finds a second, misses that shot. However, that's Rattler trying to hold down that position. Caught reloading though. Maybe Yas can pull this off.
Well, Ragnar does get the diffuser down. 43 seconds for Yas at a 1 versus 2 retake. Ragnar half health, but with this diffuser down, they can play off of it, play off of each other.
No.
What a shot though from Yas onto Beat. Suddenly Ragnar now on 1 versus 1 gets caught immediately. It's a quad for Yas to kickstart us off here on Chalet. What a saving of the round. All 4 kills to his name, plus the counter diffuse.
Great composure there from Yas, really utilizing the 3-speed alibi to his advantage, outmaneuvering his opponents, finding those kills, isolating ones, which is always so critical in a clutch situation like that. And a good confidence booster for the rest of the roster. The majority of that round did not go their way. MH did a good job, particularly in gaining control of the solar side of the map, but maybe their sweaty hands, as we theorized earlier, got the better of them in the final seconds in post plant. Not able to hold on, just looking a little bit lost there.
I mean, in all fairness, though, that's one of those sort of individual performances there from Yas where you kind of just throw your hands up and say, well, I mean, come on, what do we even do? The downside, I think, there for MH was the inability to be able to create a 2-on-1 exchange or to trade off of each other. When Yas pushes into bedroom there, he's able to, of course, get that immediate kill on the first player. There's no trade that's able to come from that. If that exchange lasts for even just a little bit longer or doesn't find that kill, suddenly that 2v1 environment starts to eventuate, and then probably DAMWON don't win it. So really well played from Yas, understood the situation, had to move quick, as you said, and is able to find the round win defensively here in that opening round. I will say this though, Guz, really good signs from MH. They don't win the round, it sucks, but I think we've seen enough already in that opening round. They can mix it here on Chalet.
Yeah, they got their fundamentals down pat in that first round. Again, they got in a good position to be able to get the plant down. So they did all the hard work, I think is the best way to describe it. They got through that solo push, Rattler naded out that key player, and then they were able to convert that into side control. They were able to get that distance down. They just need to tidy up in the back end, make sure they don't capitulate, I guess, under that pressure, or you know, even create any pressure. You really shouldn't be under any pressure in a 4 versus 1 post plant, but yeah, just tidy that up a little bit. Of course, that's only one objective though. Chalet is one of the maps in the competitive pool that has 4 viable objectives, so we're going to have to see what they're made of on these attacking patterns, whether or not that efficiency is just as good on some of these other sides, like dining, for example.
Yeah, and kitchen dining as well is going to play out in a pretty similar fashion to Master Office. Obviously for MH, it went pretty well for the most part in that opening round. They got the plant down, they had the 2v1, I mean it was a 3v1 to even want to go one step further. They had a good entry into Solarium, found an opening pick onto Coded very easily, very early, and now they find the opening pick onto Yas. Talk about maybe finding the right player, of course, who got that quad in the opening round to save the round for DAMWON here. And an opening pick once again for MH is, again, good signs here so far in Chalet. It's all about that late round execution though.
Does look like MH though do want to go for solar control once more, and it is still being held pretty intently here by DAMWON. Rin on the stairs, looking to hold this position down. 3 active ADS devices to his left on the northern wall. That will need to burn. Jittery elsewhere will burn his teammate, be taken down as he himself will also fall, so I can only assume that nade dropped when he was taken down. So an unfortunate team kill there for MH, now puts them on the back foot.
Katsang gets the kill onto Rattler. There must have been final bullet in that spray to get the job done. 2-man advantage now for DAMWON here. Minute and 15 seconds still remaining in the second round though, and a lot of time for MH, for Ragnar and Sandy to sort of reconvene and go for a different approach, but 2 versus 4, really difficult, especially on the attack.
60 seconds to go. Ragnar, rather, with control inside the trophy, looking to maybe clear these players up above on the vert, needs to win His critical run could swing by, try and find the Aruni. Katsang now one shot. Will fall back. Good discipline. 45 seconds now left. So control above here for MH. But again, in the 2 versus 4, actually converting this is much easier said than done.
Yeah, and both Rin and Katsang as well, low health here. Still probably won't make too much of a difference considering there's only 30 seconds remaining. Speaking of Rin and Katsang though, well, Rin dies to Ragnar. Katsang is now down and out for the count. They've done it in a pretty hurriedly manner here as well, MH, knowing that there's now still 20 seconds remaining. It's only a 2 versus 2. Sandy and Ragnar have been able to adapt and manage to bring this back, but Woogieman in a good little off angle finds the kill onto Ragnar, and now leaves Sandy without the diffuser. 10 seconds left in red side, 1 versus 2. Virtually impossible from this position. DAMWON Kia.
Oh no! Ooh.
Will take the second round.
Got a little bit scared there at the end. DAMWON Kia did have bulletproof camera, as well as the Shamika launcher to flame out sight and delay said push. Still got a little bit antsy, peaked, but the trade was successful. That round definitely a lot closer than it really should have been. 2 versus 4. MH, sure they cleared out above, but then they rotated and went for the horizontal, or for the vertical take rather. No, for the horizontal take. Just getting them mixed up. Went for the horizontal take. Found 2 picks isolated. DAMWON giving those away for free offsite unnecessarily, putting the pressure on the remaining members, but they did well hold on.
And again, it's almost like a repeat of round 1 in a sense of that we probably walk away from that round saying, okay, DAMWON Kia won, but MH, again, good signs there. Again, though, early and not so much in the late round execution. And I think more so than anything in the second round, it was probably the mid game where they definitely fell a little bit by the wayside. But while good signs are nice, we are on Chalet, and you need to be getting rounds on the attack. So 2 rounds now for DAMWON Kia, already established defensively, slowly doing a bit of a world tour as well, taking Master Office, then Kitchen Dining. Now they go over to even more of a conventional defensive site like Bar Games, where we're going to see a pretty stock standard, top library stairs hold, make it difficult to get inside of library, try and buy a lot of time. We'll see how MH are going to adapt and try and take this site.
5 seconds insertion. Attackers are moving out.
I do start the theory craft a little bit on what our expectations should realistically be heading into this matchup. My gut instinct is that this is going to be a comfortable DAMWON Kia 2-0, to be completely honest. We just know they have so much pedigree. Again, that experience from the Mexico Major, pretty invaluable, and South Asia is a pretty underdeveloped region at the moment, but I don't know. The North team's, of course, struggling a little bit so far this afternoon, and could be an opportunity for MH to capitalize, progress further into that lower bracket run, and maybe sneak a couple of SI points. Now, I don't think any of the SA teams have realistically any chance of making SI, but could still be cool. And again, the Sweden ticket is the ultimate prize as well here for a lot of these teams that aren't eligible to make it to SI.
And for MH and Mercenaries, it's all about the experience, I guess, in itself. It's been very difficult for South Asia when they come into the APAC playoffs so far. Only 1 win for the calendar year. That was all the way back in stage 1, all the way back when Kira Esports defeated Cyclops. Until now, actually, because I guess technically Mercenaries found a map against Cyclops as well. They just have a thing with apparently defeating Cyclops. That match, of course, happening off stream at the moment. This is a good start for DAMWON Kia, though. We didn't expect them to be in the lower bracket. They are definitely the heavy favorites, but MH are going to give them a good run for their money here. And more of a library-centric take here right now, and they're just going to push in. Rattler gets the opening pick onto Rin. That's 3 rounds in a row now for MH to find the opening pick. Yas is also quite heavily wounded, so less of that sweep across from, say, Solar, and more of that emphasis straight onto library.
Yeah, well played so far. I'm liking some of these op picks as well. The Flores in play was used to great effect to clear the top library shield. I don't know if it's really cleared much else, but that is a good pick nonetheless in the utility department. Beat as well, transitioning across to Gridlock in substitution for the Nomad ban from DAMWON Kia, so no doubt really valuing that flank watch potential, and as MH look to try and take above, that could serve them well. Boogeyman, though, gets one back, 4 versus before, despite this utility compromise, MH haven't quite capitalized up above yet.
Yeah, and this is where we're going to probably see the downside to this particular take here. There's only 40 seconds left, and DAMWON here know exactly where MH are going to be pushing in from. So it creates this kind of choke point environment. Even then, though, who cares about the choke point if you can just push through, swing, find 2 kills? That is exactly what Jittery has been able to accomplish here. Now it's a 2-man advantage for MH with under 30 seconds remaining. And Yas has basically no help. Already found that quad in the opening round, would have to probably do something in a pretty similar fashion here. Has Katsang, of course, for a bit of help, but is that a miss drone on Yas? It could be, it isn't though. Jittery finds the triple kill, and MH will find the first round here on Chalet.
A clean, methodical take there from MH. They cleared that utility early. Rattler with the early jump in to clear out that rat spot inside of Library. Yes, it then slowed down. Some may say it stalled out a little bit there, particularly as they tried to get control up above, but from that point onwards when they went bang, quite relentless in the way they were able to get that territory and did nicely to convert the round. So a good response, and in doing so, again, they prevent DAMWON from taking 3 rounds straight, which is always critical on an attack.
Yeah, and the good signs now get rewarded. It's very easy to sit back and say, well, the first 2 rounds, they looked all right, but they didn't find any round wins. You don't really get anything for it. You can't have that go on forever. Sort of honorable rounds just aren't going to get you round wins. So that was a lot better from MH when it came to the actual execution of it. Obviously, Jittery, sort of from a solo perspective, just pushing in over to the mezzanine, finds 2 kills and basically opens up that vert above and establishes Library. And then, of course, from there, they're able to use that advantage to find the last 2 kills onto Yas and Katsang. And it's a really good round win for MH. Downside, though, is we head back now over to Master Office, where, of course, DAMWON did win in the opening round, but good news, MH actually played it pretty well. They found the opening pick, cleared out the player trophy stairs, got good solar control pretty early on. It was just that late round execution where they allowed Yas to get a 4K and win the round.
Boogeyman actually playing Doc in this round. So a little bit of a niche pick here on the defense. Looking for a spawn kill once more at the double window, but I don't think it's really going to find anything. Yeah, definitely quite interesting, especially with Thunderbird now being available in competitive play in those Kona stations. Probably offering a little bit more in the utility department, but hey, I'm not going to knock it. Maybe Boogeyman can pop off on Doc and still fight into his own. Once more though, MH going for a solar take, applying pressure on these windows. Coated. He can hold down for a couple of ADS devices to fortify his position, a deployable shield as well, facing into towards West Main. So again, it comes down to how cleanly can MH take this, and Jittery, once again, lighting up the kill feed.
4 in a row, guys. 4 opening picks in a row for MH. I know it was a point of discussion between Dev and Raven earlier on Clubhouse, and the success there hasn't quite been able to translate into round wins, though. Yes! Big double onto Sandy and Jittery, now up to 6 kills in the opening 4 rounds, and basically having a field day here on Chalet, and gives DAMWON the lead here for the 4th round. 3 versus 4, just under a minute and 50 seconds remaining. Low on health though, so probably can't expect too much more from here.
Yes, that does somewhat leave us in a bit of a 3 versus 3 or like a 3.5 situation. Yes, unlikely to win that vault battle if Beat were to jump in and pre-fire that position. Often a 50-50 fight, and Rattler applying pressure down below as well. Should be able to find this kill. Needs to swing to his left side. Dining does, and it's a clean headshot in response. Beat jumps in. Oh, the vert needs to be mindful of those holes. Finds himself now low on HP, and it's a bit of a seesaw this round at the moment. DAMWON probably now with a slight advantage.
Yeah, cheeky angle there on the vert, and
Coded.
Beat had absolutely no idea. Coded makes a little cross though.
Oh no.
They don't know he's here. I mean, he just has to literally stand up and he'll get that player on trophy stairs, but he has been spotted. He's getting shot at. He didn't even know where it was from. Rattler now with 2 in the round. And suddenly for MH, they've got the man advantage, under a minute left on the clock. 50 seconds to be exact, and they've got a lot of time here to use it. Still have to clear out Katsang though inside a bathroom. This is going to be a big play, and still has that shield.
We've seen MH though in comparable scenarios in the past, where they've had the advantage, they've gone for that execute and then faltered. So now they need to relax. Find these remaining players, cut off their crosses and prevent them from retaking this round. MH in the driver's seat to claim it. They just need to convert.
No Yas this time for DAMWON to save the day. Rattler and Ragnar have been playing immensely well. Katsang, though, feels the pressure to push forward and swing. Didn't land all of the shots. Most of them, but not all of them. Rattler and Ragnar will make them pay. It's 2-2 on Chalet. We've got a match.
The last 15 seconds of that round were a little bit mind-bending, is maybe one way to put it. Unfortunate there, that swing from Bartham didn't pay off for DAMWON Kia. And Rattler were able to get that pick, and then the rush at half wall at the end there when they could have gone for the plant. I guess maybe they were too scared to go for the plant. After their last attempt, they just wanted to go for kills, get the round converted there and then. And they do. Once again, a solid round here from MH.
Early days, though, and of course they're on the attack here on Chalet, where there's generally going to be expectations to do well. Still, good signs inside of the first 4 rounds. The question is, now they've got 2 more rounds, can they extend this lead? Or are we maybe looking at, say, like a 3-3 half? They're doing already, though, a lot better than their brethren, of course, from South Asia. There's the other match happening at the moment, that too on Chalet, which I think last I saw was about a 4-0 lead to Cyclops. So this match a little bit closer than that one in particular on Chalet. Of course, Mercenaries already up 1-0, though. But MH looking good. And I think right now what we're seeing is the value of Rattler, guys, of course, who was not available for the earlier match this afternoon. I kind of felt like that was a missing piece. And yet, despite missing Rattler, they still pushed the Chiefs to a 7-5 result.
10 seconds to go.
Yeah, I wonder how he did on his exam.
Hopefully he did really good.
Well, I'm a bit concerned because it seems like he didn't use a lot of his energy and brain power there. He's using it now, so maybe he rationed it really well. I'm not sure. Doesn't seem to be impacting his performance, which is good to see, and is having an impact. Of course, he's not the only player in the server really lighting up, particularly early. It's been jittery on the entries.
Yeah,
he's been doing really well. Unfortunately, we haven't captured them all, so I don't know how he's finding himself.
We caught one of them on Mezzanine, where he literally just pushed in and just walked in, swung and got 2 kills.
And he's also doing really good work as well. Flores, that's a couple of times now where we are seeing key deployable shields take him down. That's a sneaky drone spot inside of Dining that he is utilizing, catching DAMWON Kia off guard. And talk about catching opponents off guard. Rin, once again, on the Solar stairs, looking to prevent this swing in. Solar has been a point of contention between these two every single round so far. Round number 5 is no exception.
Yeah, and Jittery has been a standout, not only with the gun, but also, as you said, Flores. Beat, by the way, with now 5th opening pick. It's a bit of a rush here onto site. Dining control has now been established for MH. The trades, though, it's 3 versus 3, so therefore 2 apiece. Jittery continues to just rack up kills. Yas still alive and inside of the server, but Sandy will shut him down. No quad, no saving the day. It's all MH here in the 5th round. 3-1 remaining to make it a 3-2 lead here on Chalet, and to make it 3 rounds in a row. The rush has been successful.
Oh, Rattler, though, he's fallen. This leaves it in a 2-on-1 inside. And again, MH, they're freaking out when they're trying to get this diffuser down. Katsang swings 5-1, makes it 2. MH are falling apart here in round number 5 once more. It's a 1v1.
Katsang is low. Rattler should have somewhat of an idea. Still a minute and 15 seconds, but wants to get that diffuser down. Katsang, the rotate, he gets off it as well. They are panicking every single time they try and get this diffuser down. Maybe Rattler got the comms to change the position of the diffuser for a specific location where he can watch. But here comes Katsang. Yas has already taken away 1 round. Can he take a second? Katsang! It's like round 1 all over again. DAMWON Kia steal their 2nd round away from MH.
Defenders have disabled the bomb defuser.
What?
Bomb defusing attempt failed. Defenders win.
Do I have to say anything? Like, guys, come on.
That is hands on your head moment.
The bomb.
What went on?
I understand why they probably fell off, right? And it's because one player accidentally fell down the hatch, so they only had 1 point of coverage. But even then, they still could have stuck it. They got that far through planting it. I think there was like half a second left on the plant, and then they got off, and it ends up costing them the round because they didn't set up properly. That is 2nd time now. That's happened for MH. The scoreline at the moment should be 4-1.
Yeah. Should, could,
I mean, you've got
ifs
gotta
and
win those
buts.
at the
You
end
got to
of the
win
day.
it. You got to make the plays. I do wonder if at the end maybe some comm issues as well. Oh, that's a rough one. But they need to reset mentally and quickly and move on to the 6th round, trying to at least make it 3-3. Yas in the opening round, and then Katsang now in the 5th round. Twice, DAMWON Kia have been able to salvage 2 rounds from improbable positions. And yet they made them possible. Nevertheless, maybe off the back of that as well, this is where DAMWON Kia just build a bit of momentum and build a way to
10 seconds left.
separate themselves a little bit from MH and get a 4-2 lead. One thing to note as well, Gaz, is Coded is really struggling right now on the smoke. They've not really been able to have those gas babes be impactful at all because it's just dying so early on in these rounds, 0 and 5.
Yeah, and not trying to sound like a negative Nancy here, MH have been playing well for the majority of these rounds in terms of the timeline, right? Early round and mid round has been fantastic, and even though we have access to the outlines and the overheads, even predicting what they're going to do from an outsider's perspective is really difficult. They're finding their way into sight so often and catching DAMWON Kia off guard. That's been one of the highlights so far in this matchup. They just need to convert the late round. Rattler once again goes for the opening kill. It's a really good trade though. Beat finds that pick. Rin probably getting a little bit overzealous there, trying to return fire onto that second player down for blow. So a bit of a neutral trade there. Of course, Sledge checking up the board means there's 2 less grenades. In terms of utility trading, DAMWON Kia slightly edging out.
And for the first time in this opening half, it's a opening pick for DAMWON Kia. It was not a short-lived advantage though, of course, with the trade immediately. Jittery from this bedroom window, just trying to be a nuisance, and a nuisance at that, of course, cannot use those Roteros while repelling on the Flores, so we'll have to rotate away. Missed opportunities is probably the best way to sum up this first half for MH. Can they at least redeem themselves here in the 6th round, especially considering they are on the attack? That's one Rotero destroyed by Coated. A minute and a half remaining here in the 6th round.
Gas on the prowl, drop low, maybe find Beat, but at this point in the round, probably a risk that he doesn't want to take. That said, he is isolated, making his way up the stairs, and that may allow the likes of Ragnar to get control, although he needs to be mindful of his swing. Although, like a puzzle, Jittery is also holding that connection, so a lot going on here. Each player, particularly on the attack, playing a critical role, but Yas is going to try and disrupt that. Jumps out, swings the double window, finds that kill. Well played, 3v4.
Oh, that's probably the round that most likely will be the half. Katsang and Yas have just been a nightmare to deal with for MH. Sandy and Beat. A 2 versus 4 with only 40 seconds remaining. Master Office, somewhat doable, but most likely an improbable scenario awaits them ahead. And yet, we've seen 2 improbable scenarios go the way of DAMWON Kia. Maybe MH can have one go their way. Sandy now on this piano window. Caught, and already Woogieman knows exactly where Sandy's going to be pushing in from. Beat tries to follow up, and Woogieman holds his ground firmly at the top of Library Stairs. It's a 4-2 defensive half for DAMWON Kia.
Yeah, unlike most of the rounds for MH that were lost late round, particularly in plant situations or post plants, that was probably one of the few where they really lost it in the opening seconds there. Bit of an I'm trying to think of the word. Undesirable trade there to kick things off, losing the nades on the sledge, and it really just kind of snowballed from that point onwards. DAMWON Kia again showing great composure, even when they maybe feel the pressure a little bit, they're able to play into that. We saw the jump out, double window, really well played. And yeah, DAMWON Kia, I think at the moment they're really showing their experience in their class. Again, this is their map pick, so we're probably expecting them to put in a solid performance, but yeah, I'm pretty satisfied with how they're playing so far.
Especially on the defense as well, to sort of really highlight that fact, of course. So the MH had their chances, maybe, and in a world in which they should have capitalized on the chances that they did have, maybe it could have been a 4-2 half in their favor. Not to be, though. Now they've got an opportunity on the defense to redeem themselves. We'll see what DAMWON Kia have to say about it on the attack. And one thing I really want to keep note of more than anything in this second half, though, guys, is opening kills. In the first half, 5 of the 6 rounds went in favor of the attacking team for MH. Will DAMWON Kia have a similar trend happen for them?
Clash being brought out here by Rattler, which is a little bit interesting, seemingly really strong with his mechanics. Saw here in Tap, posting numbers, going 5-5, doing a decent job, but I guess maybe Clash favoring him here on the defense, and it is an operator that does see some limited play, and to that effect, limited success as well. In combination with the Clash, they're also bringing out the Pulse to gain a lot of info here, so I don't know. How are DAMWON Kia going to contest this? Of course, being from APAC as well themselves, Clash is not an operator that's too crazy, albeit still a niche pick, so they should be well equipped to deal with this lineup.
Only the single hard breach, so Coded will need to be a little bit careful on that solar repel, but not expecting MH to maybe get 2 and C. They do have beat on the pulse, and Ragnar also with a Nitrosol, so 2 in total for MH. They want to do interesting plays there. Nice little vertical sightlines being opened up from Katsang in Garage, and slowly but surely DAMWON Kia getting to work. You can kind of already see, I guess, a different take in their approach here. Less of a hard focus on Solarium, more of a soft focus on it, and establishing Vert, getting, sort of boots on the ground a little bit here. And now, after they've sort of established some Vert control elsewhere, tried to get Rin in a good position to watch down below, now they can take the solar approach. Sandy, though, with the opening pick onto Woogie Man. That's really, really good for MH with 1.5 minutes left.
Top control still obtained though by DAMWON Kia, and Yas is going to walk straight into that force back. Rattler takes a little bit of damage elsewhere, not exactly sure where that damage was inflicted from, but DAMWON Kia looking to clear up above. Swings wide, finds the Aruni. That's Jittery taken down. Elsewhere as well, Rattler was cut off, so that's the Clash dealt with 2. Really well played by DAMWON Kia. Now they have 60 seconds to set up for a plant. C4 though, from below. Ragnar deploys it. Doesn't explode. Oh, it's under the bed. He misplaces it. Katsang survives.
Maybe DAMWON Kia survive as well. 1-man advantage, still got that solar control Coded. Of course, this is kitchen dining though, so you do want to get control up above. It's a very critical portion of this take for kitchen dining. Definitely going to need to head down at some point. MH mostly all down there already. With this buck, of course, the Skeleton Key can open up a lot of these sightlines. Coded down with 3 kills in the round. Going from nothing to 3 in a pretty quick fashion. Yas over towards Trophy Stairs, though, loses 99% of his life. Ragnar in a pretty similar fashion as well. Into red time we go. And it is as close as you can really ask for. 2 versus 2. Ragnar can't hit the shots. Maybe he did actually got the down on the Katsang. And then with a bit of help from Beat, they win the round. That's at least 1 round back for MH.
Really well played. And it looks like maybe a tactical pause to follow as well. MH not going down without a fight. Again, just to reiterate, this is DAMWON Kia's map pick, so you would anticipate for them to take the dub, but I mean, much like the Cyclops Mercenaries game, that's not always the case. So I don't want to read too much into that. I think at the moment I'm just trying to take a stock take on what's happening. This has been a very, very chaotic game. I do hope that this tactical pause just settles things a little bit. Now, again, anticipating MH to probably continue to play quite aggressive. That's the South Asia meta. We've seen that throughout today and throughout the year. But just tame it a little bit, lads. And yeah, focus up for the remainder of this matchup, because it has been teams that are thriving in this chaos or being able to settle down in that chaos that have been playing better. And I mean, I'm just saying the long and convoluted way of whoever's throwing less is basically winning. It's just a nice way of saying it. So.
Yeah, well, the other part, if we want to sort of dissect it a little bit more here, is that so far in this particular match, it's been very defender-sided. We've had now, of the 7 rounds that we've played, 5 have been defenders winning, and for the attackers only twice. Probably MH should have maybe got 3 or 4 rounds on the attack. Wasn't to be, though. They now get 1 back on defense, and Master Office has been the most prevalent site so far, even though it was a site that was actually successfully attacked, not only once, but technically should have been twice if we think back all the way to the opening round. So really, really good signs for MH here in the second half that they were able to defend Master Office successfully. Now you head over to Bar Games, which actually hasn't seen as much success and hasn't quite been as prevalent as it maybe usually is. We've only seen it once, and it was attacked successfully by MH. So maybe if they're really good on the attack of Bar Games, they can be just as good on the defense of it.
Would you like to hear the single best piece of analysis I have said in my few years of casting here?
Of course.
MH might be able to push this to OT or even win in regulation on the defense because they don't have to worry about planting the diffuser and holding on in post plants.
I see where you're going with this one. You're basically implying that the rounds that they basically gave away were in relation to a diffuser being involved. Okay.
It was very charitable from MH. I'm not denying that.
Oh,
but
yes!
also could be quite costly. Yes. Inflicting some nice damage there onto Ragnar. Not quite enough to get that kill, but will prove to be quite nice for them late round, particularly again if Ragnar falls back into the site. During that execute is going to be very vulnerable. One shot, don't have the Thunderbird to heal him up or the Doc or that other.
Yeah, and just quickly here, but this is a pretty similar attack of DAMWON here as it was for MH. A lot of this library focus rather than sweeping across from Solarium into bedroom, into office, then the mezzanine, top library stairs. It's kind of like, well, we can just ignore all of that. We could just focus library. We could just focus big window down games as well. They will, of course, still clear a lot of this utility, such as top library stairs. They haven't quite cleared the shield over the mezzanine chimney. E1D deployed by Woogie Man. Movement detected.
Missed that nade. Cat saying though, doesn't miss his shot. Jittery off the board. That's the box position cleared nonetheless. One way to go about it. Not too sure. Library stairs?
I think it might have been like bot library, but I think at this point, if they're going for a library take, you would probably want the clash upstairs and being above. And yeah, so top library stairs. We've seen this innovation before, guys, actually, where you don't use the deployable shield, you use the clash.
Yeah, it does allow you to play a little bit more of an active defense if you want to phrase it that way. You can fall back, then B can switch out the SMG late round and get to work. And we are really yet to see this position challenged. 60 seconds on the board, and I don't think there's any nades available yet. Let's know. There are no nades available for DAMWON Care.
How are they going to clear this clash?
And try and push these guys? I don't know.
50 seconds remaining. They could just go straight for sight. Sandy, though, finds the kill onto Katsang. Rin's down as well, by the way, on top of the fact that Coded has basically no health. Rattler just feels a little bit antsy right now, pushes up from top of library stairs. May elect to push into library, take out that play in there, which is Yas. They're feeling the pressure right now, DAMWON Kia. They cannot break down this defense. Oh, it was actually Rin who went into the frost mat. That's not ideal either. 4 versus 3. 2 of these players, though, top library stairs. Sandy not on site either. So if I'm correct, there's only 1 player on site for MH.
DAMWON Care just standing around waiting for MH to throw picks here. They're not showing any initiation. They haven't cleared out this clash position. It could be difficult to convert this round. Rin finally does make a move. Rattler with the team kill. Does get 2 in the meantime. 1 actually onto the opposition. Now Boogeyman left with the 1v2. No time. Finds 1. But that player up above can hold on. A very strange end to the round, but MH will win it out.
Thank you for your protection, Clash, but I won't be needing you anymore. Rattler with the team kill onto Beat, but at least found the kill onto Yas. And MH will find their 2nd round win in a row. That's now 4 defensive round wins in a row, by the way, here on Chalet, guys. It's 4-4. It's yet another defensive round win. We're heading to Master Bedroom and Office.
This year's been pretty crazy for a whole bunch of reasons in and outside of Siege, but this is the weirdest game I think I've seen. Yeah. Every single round there has just been something that's happened that you just never see. Very out of the ordinary, very difficult to read on, predict for us, and no doubt some of the players in the server trying to work out and still understand what the hell is going on. It's very, very chaotic. Team kills, just everything you could dream of at the moment. We're seeing clutches, we're seeing throws. I just don't know where this one's going to land.
Well, I think right now we've seen enough in this game that the scoreline is probably a fair representation. we're not sitting back saying like, oh, maybe DAMWON here should be a bit ahead. Like, no, I think 4-4 is probably just about. You could sit back and say, well, MH had 2 rounds, but they probably should have won. And yeah, they should have, but they didn't. And so I think this is actually a fair scoreline because of that. And there's an opportunity here. If this ends up being what it already is, a pretty defender-sided Chalet, well, they're on the defense. That's probably where you want to be. Jittery has the Nitro Cell, but it's just going to be Black Eye. Of course, there actually was a player there of DAMWON Kia if you really want to be super aggressive, but not going to happen. So over to Master Office. For the first time here in the second half. It was Kitchen Dining earlier. That was played and won successfully by MH. So this is essentially do the World Tour and to gain a 5-4 lead. A lot on the line here in the 9th round.
And I'm fairly certain Boogeyman's running 417. So the DMR online. Okay.
A bomb has been
Cool.
located.
I mean, at this point, I'm not going to be surprised at too much. So we'll run with that, see what he can do. Looks like across. Again, that makes sense. DAMWON Kia going for the solo take has been the trend so far in this matchup. Teams not really necessarily going for more, I guess, quote-unquote traditional take that you might see a little bit more ranked, for example, over towards mezzanine, open up office into half wall. Instead, get in towards solo, apply so much pressure. Now, in terms of getting those boots on the ground, those players inside the map, probably a little bit more challenging, but once you open it up, very difficult for the defense to hold on, and those crosses are tricky.
I can't remember who it was. Was it the Chiefs who sort of innovated a little bit over towards that office and planted literally on the edge?
Yeah.
Instead of actually right at the half wall and made it so it was a little bit trickier to stop them there. So we obviously do still see that approach, just not in this match at all, as now that E1D, along with the push from DAMWON Kia, has been successful. The diffuser already going down for Coded, and that is, oh, it's denied actually by Sandy. Now the kills, of course, in favor of DAMWON Kia. They've still got a 2-man advantage, but that diffuser was stopped, and then Reichner gets Katsang as well. Suddenly MH actually bringing this back, but it looked like it was never going to be a possibility. Yas, though, of course it's Yas. And now in a 1 versus 2, Sandy over towards top of Trophy Stairs has good sightline into the site. Yas, of course, swooped in, took that diffuser, and now will plant it down. It will be 45 seconds on a retake in a 1 versus 2. Sandy to give MH a 5-4 lead, pushes in towards Piano, moving very quickly here. Might I add, can he create a 1 versus 1? Not going to know that Boogeyman's right there, though. A little anticlimactic there, unfortunately, for Sandy and for MH, but for DAMWON Kia, much needed round win.
Yeah, really explosive execute there on towards site. The inevitable was delayed by that Nitro Cell. Prevented the plant from being successful, had to be reattempted, but once that diffuser was set, it was well and truly DAMWON Kia's round to lose. They fall back, they play super passive. That rat spot as well, proving to be really effective there from Boogeyman. And he did in fact have the 417 in hand, able to mow down that remaining defender. Now they're on the precipice of match point.
Yeah, and just a quick little update as well for the Mercenaries.
Mute the stream if you don't want to know the result.
For the Mercenaries Cyclops game, if you don't want to know the scores, mute the stream right now. But as an update, 7-1 to Cyclops on Chalet.
That's the first map that North's won all day, by the way.
Yeah, and they will be going, of course, to a 3rd and deciding map on Clubhouse to see who will progress into the 2nd round, into tomorrow, and who will be going home between those 2 teams. So, of course, that happening there. This right here, though, on Chalet for us is the first map of this best of 3. So we're just getting started, and it's 4-5 DAMWON Kia on the attack. 1 round away from match point.
Yeah, Cyclops in that other game looking to keep their SI dreams alive. Currently 17th in the overall points globally, so they need to be gathering points in the playoffs ideally. Head to the major and bank extra points as well. Focusing in on this game though, DAMWON Kia are still an outside chance. I think they would have to finish in like the top 3 or 4 at the Sweden major to be any shout. So an interesting storyline to follow nonetheless. But hey, the more teams at the APAC, the more teams from APAC at SI, the better. And no doubt, a very difficult region to accumulate points in. A lot more teams fighting out for the same amount of point allocations as some of the other regions, such as North America and EUL. So tough going down here in APAC, but it does really emphasize your performance in these playoffs, even the regular season as well, if you can get that auto ticket. But DAMWON putting in a good fight at the moment. Again, honing in on match point here on their map pick.
Yeah, and Kitchen Dining again here, it's not been successfully attacked by either team. We have seen both teams defend it successfully twice for DAMWON Kia, once so far for MH. Maybe they can make it twice. Probably have to say for the most part, guys, they're going to need to. Otherwise, the 6-4 scoreline isn't going to be great for them. We probably sense DAMWON Kia with all of their experience and all of their talent will be able to close out. Need to see a bit more from Clash, from Rattler on the Clash in terms of buying a lot of time here, especially in this particular round. Maybe even playing a little bit more towards top trophy stairs, denying that solo take for as long as possible. It's Jittery though, opening pick onto Woogieman. MH though have struggled with capitalizing on those opening picks, and Rin just goes straight into Piano. They can catch this clash from both sides now.
Oh, the run out there from Cat
no.
Sang denied. Rin drops the clash as well. Well played from DAMWON Kia up above. They'll be able to claim control. Hopefully start beginning work on the buck for that vertical, but Beat does respond. Rin off the board, and that's the Sophia taken down.
Yeah, and Cat Sang on the buck is also very low, so well, we got a minute and 15 seconds remaining. If Cat Sang is not careful while opening up some of the floor here with that skeleton key, could meet their demise. Jittery again. It's a knockdown onto Coated. Cat Sang looking for a response, but unable to find it. Coated should be able to get brought back up, but that will now be 2 players, guys, with virtually no health.
Attackers have recovered their diffuser.
45 seconds left. MH on occasion have struggled in the late round, and they might fall apart again. Yes, with the swing over towards West Main, finds that pick inside a trophy. Now has long angle, but it's above. That will find that pick onto Jittery Beat. And the 1 versus 3, still winnable. 3 players low.
Beat, of course, it's already. Oh, nice spot from Cat Sang. Makes that skeleton key work. The buck. Sometimes just so valuable. And for DAMWON Gaming Kia, they will get match point. In this case, of course, it's more of a map point, since this being a best of 3. But good signs to try and close out here on Chalet.
Again, DAMWON Kia showing good composure in the late round. They would have known that they were all really low, so there's a very, very realistic chance that they, I guess, quote-unquote throw, if you want to call it that, from that point in the round. But a really good spot there from the buck. That vertical play, so prevalent on that particular site. And well done. In the end, that is, again, match point. As MH look to try and hold on over towards Bar Gaming. A cheeky 6 pick heading into this round. The Ying for Coded.
Defenders,
Could be an
protect your
explosive
bombs from
conclusion to
being
this
defused by
map.
attackers.
And this is where MH are going to get tested the most, really. They are down now 2 match points. They have been really going toe-to-toe with DAMWON Kia up until essentially that, you know, last 2 rounds now. It was 4-4. It was 2 to DAMWON Kia, 2 to MH, then 2 to Kia, then 2 to MH, and now 2 to Kia. So it just, I guess, maybe continues the trend, guys. Now maybe it's time for MH to find their 2 rounds.
Left before insertion.
Maybe.
That's how it works, doesn't it? Surely. Superstition's always correct.
I think they're going to need more than a bit of a superstition to get them through this matchup. Again, at the moment, DAMWON Kia pretty clearly the better team. Although, you know, you say that, right? And the scoreline could be flipped off those 2 throws from MH.
Got to remember, this was also their map pick.
Yeah, maybe we should have anticipated a more dominant performance, and MH are doing a good job to fight against them. Again, though, of course, a map pick, you face the team that picks it, but without too much data to go off and a severe lack in head-to-heads between these 2 regions, it's always difficult to make those assumptions. So I think at the moment, DAMWON Kia are doing a good job in the later phases of this game to start closing things out. That's where the pressure's at its highest, and
Rattler.
unfortunately for Rin, he cripples himself under that pressure. He falls apart, taken down through that barricade, and that means that Sophia once more is taken down.
Dev Martin, by the way, said 8-7 for this game, and we know he's always correct as well. So,
Well, I don't remember Dev winning the predictions for Stage Lead. So.
Is that your rebuttal? Okay.
Well, yeah, I don't know how you would rebut my rebut.
Attackers drop
I can't.
diffuser.
Yeah, you're right.
Attackers have
I don't know why we're
recovered
talking
their
about butts, but okay.
2 minutes on the clock. Still 1-man advantage for MH. M1 Kia. And they buck this superstition, this trend that we've seen in this match. Jittery. has been such an important player for MH. When he finds a few kills, they tend to win their rounds.
I think they're going to set up for the Ying. 2 players outside the double window in towards Games, trying to flush out backstore. Ragnar is going to be a key proponent to this defense. If you can't hold on, if he allows that vault, this should be a DAMWON round. And yes,
they're in. He's planting. He is planting, but Rattler, they've still got top library
Oh,
control.
no.
Ragnar will deny that plan from happening. The rush from DAMWON here has been halted, but maybe they can bring it back through Coated. Quick double kill. Very low on health. Yes, just literally watches the clash drop down into the Nether Realm. Jittery then gets the trade, gets the kill, finds the last one. What a calamity of a round.
Really good intent there from DAMWON Kia to utilize that Ying 6 pick, try and dump those Candles in towards site, get the vault off, get the plant, and it did work. They got in and they started that plant, but then they forgot that player in backstore might actually end up swinging wide and wake up and not be blind anymore. That did happen. The Frost finding that pick at the half wall, and MH do a really good job to then hold on that reaggress up above. Bit of a chaotic round, but they hold on.
Just saying, guys, by the way, trend, superstition, it's happening. That's just one. They're going to get the next one, and then suddenly it's all good. We'll go to OT. 8-7. I can't remember who Dev said would win in the 8-7. Does he want to tell me in my ear? No, he's not listening right now. It's probably a good thing. Kitchen dining we go, which is probably a good thing prior to that 10th round, guys. It hadn't been cracked. If MH have been able to learn from that 10th round, adapt a little bit, maybe they can actually send this one to overtime.
Maybe. Maybe. And I guess as this game continues to develop more and more,
Bomb located by
I'm probably going to backtrack a little bit on my point about DAMWON actually looking quite good. This game has just been very difficult to read. There's just so much going on, so much unpredictability, a lot of wild operating picks, 6 picks here and there as well. Just the nature of the aggression, particularly from some of these South Asian teams like MH in combination with DAMWON Kia, who aren't looking the best here in stage 3. It's just making for some pretty bizarre siege. So heading into what could potentially be the final round, difficult to know if it will be the last round. Dining kitchen defense here though from MH, extension up above. Again, the pulse will aid in that. Play down below in sight with some safety and call out where here are going to be pushing from. Does look like that might be library across as Woogieman takes down that camera, but he might just be setting himself up for this repel as the rest of the team goes towards solo.
And so far for the majority of this match as well, the opening pick game has been by far large in favor of MH. Doesn't mean they've always been successful in converting the round, but it has been something to note of. Whether it is defense or attack didn't really make a difference. Of course, the last time we were here on Kitchen Dining, it was an attacking round win for DAMWON Gaming here. I think, honestly, it's a good thing that they're not on the clash anymore, because I don't think it really was having that much of an impact.
No. I think there was maybe one round where you can make the argument that it worked out when DAMWON Kia actually genuinely did get stalled out of it, top of library stairs, but outside of that, its impact hasn't really been felt. At least we haven't seen the impact, so I'm sure MH can attest to that better than we will be able to, but I mean, falling off it would probably suggest that it's not been the most effective. And Rattler can now play a fragging role on the alibi, going 9-9, find a couple of picks in this round. Now, in terms of DAMWON Kia setting up for this attack, still yet, I think, to get control of Solar. The rest of the team holding some of these cutoffs down below. West main might be able to find a pick if MH falls asleep inside.
Yeah, only 1 minute and 20 seconds remaining
Jump out.
as well. Jump out, and it's actually a Claymore onto Jittery. That is now a one-man advantage. Rin found a second elsewhere, coded as well. Rattler got one, but suddenly it's falling to pieces here for MH. Beat just gets taken apart as well. Woogieman will finish off the job, and it's only Sandy now on the Tachanka in a 1 versus 3 to send this to overtime, or maybe to our second map of the series. Does not fret, does not move a muscle until he is destroyed. Chalet goes to DAMWON Gaming Kia 7-5.
DAMWON Kia probably making that map a little bit more painful than it needs to be. It was their selection. They get it across the line. They're in regulation, and any win is a good win here in the APAC playoffs. They keep their dream alive at the moment, and they're looking good for the rest of the series.
really, really good match as well from both teams. I think, yes, there was some mistakes. Yes, there was some throws. But I think that sometimes is fascinating and fun to watch as well. DAMWON Key, I think just their experience and their strength